All right, we're doing it. We're back again. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks, I think, since I last played Hollow Knight, and that was up on Twitch stream. And now I'm going to be trying it on YouTube stream. I streamed last week some Castlevania 64 as a test stream. These days just melt away. I don't know where the time goes anymore. It's just you get old and then time slips through your old crusty fingers. I don't know what's... Anyway. It's been a week. It has been so busy. And I'm tired. But I am making the irresponsible decision to play some Hollow Knight. And hopefully the stream uploads okay. It seemed like on my test stream, when I ran it with Castlevania 64, it seemed to come out okay. I felt like it was still maybe not as sharp in certain areas on the picture quality, but it feels like maybe after a few days, maybe YouTube finished encoding, and the pictures seemed to look a little bit sharper than I remembered, or it's just all psychological and I'm making it up in my head. Either way, it seemed to look pretty good when I went and watched it the other day, so we're going to try again, this time with Hollow Knight, getting back into this, so I don't want to leave Hollow Knight for so long that I've completely forgotten what's going on in this game. And let me turn the audio back on. Yeah, that's a pleasant sound. Let's go. Let's dive right back in. It has been a couple weeks, so I'm not 100% sure. Okay, I was going to say I'm not 100% sure if I remember exactly what we were doing, but I do remember now coming back into it. Those are some loud footsteps. Hopefully the audio quality is still coming through okay. I did a test recording just a moment before this. It sounded fine, but you know how these things go. Maybe the stream comes out a little bit different. I'm always worried and nervous about that. Just feel like I haven't perfected it quite yet, but hey, that's why we're streaming. This guy, what did he say? Oh, this isn't too loud, right? Oh, you know what? I've got my volume a bit too loud on the computer. I need to lower that. I was like, whoa, it's pretty loud. This whole area swarms with deadly critters, fighting, burning, scratching types. I'd thought to test my strength against them. Now that bravado has left me, and all I feel is tired and sore. Oh man, I feel sorry for you, buddy. Ma'am. What's going on over here? Oh, alright. Where am I? And that's the other thing, I just got... I fought that boss, the three sisters or three queens, whatever they were. I fought that boss, and I got wall jump right before that boss, so I know there's places I can go back to and explore in the beginning, get some more grubs and whatnot. Somehow I found myself in the deep nest. That wasn't my intention. My intention was just to get back to the beginning, and then I'm in fucking hell. And here I am only going deeper. I guess I'll just go deeper. Why not? I'm here. I like to explore. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. The skill has left me in those 2 weeks, I guess. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. Fuck you. Oh, God. Alright, get out of here. Alright, let's go to the bench. Let's go to the bench. Let's go to the bench. It's okay. I apologize for this absolute poor performance. Let's just wake up a little bit. I did mention I'm tired. Has been a minute. That's no excuse. I'm not sure why my timing is so off right now. Ah, shoot. Yeah, get out of here. Oh, hook me up with some Alienwares, please. I need it. Alright. I better wake up fast if I want to survive this nonsense. Oh shit. Okay, I guess I don't want to cut those. Oh, these things climb walls. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be safe up here. That's fine. Oh, fuck. My timing. My timing! Get out of here! Run! Jesus! Ah! God! Well, screw it. Let's just go to the bench. That's probably gonna reset the enemies, isn't it? So... But you know what? This is... I don't know, opportunity for Mun-Muns? Or it's an opportunity to waste everyone's time on stream. Yeah, stay down there. How about that? Yeah, how about that? Yeah! How about that? Oh god, there's so many little babies. Hold on. What the fuck? That's not fair. Oh my god, that's not fair! Oh, already. Okay. Gonna need a little juice. Gonna need a little juice. Oh yeah, and they said I could strengthen my weapon. Someone said that somewhere before the triple queen boss. They're like, oh, you can go strengthen your nail. It's awfully stale. Hor, hor, hor. And I was like, I don't need it. I definitely need it, I think. Okay. Slowly but surely getting the groove. This Emperor is getting his groove back. Wait. Nope. What's over here? Where the hell am I going? What is that? Glittering little butterfly? Butterfly? Oh, little jubbly. Yeah, okay. Yes. I could definitely use some blueberry alienwares. Oh, okay. Perhaps a switch. And what comes to get me under here? Or am I just trapped? Is that what's happening? Okay, I'm just trapped. I have to go the long way. Alright. Alright, why not? Oh, fuck. I already lost my blueberries. I swear to God. My skill. What has happened to it? Somehow I blame Luigi. Why are you blaming me, bro? I ain't even in this game. I didn't do nothing. That's right, Luigi, you didn't. And that's the problem. You never pull your weight around here. Oh, this is bullshit, man. This is some serious bullshit. Not even in the game, and Luigi already getting the bullshit. Oh, why are you jumping? I can't handle that right now. Oh god, run! Fuck! No! I still blame Luigi. Absolutely. That's bullshit, bro! Nope, that's cool. Nah, that's alright. I mean, I do need to get some money back, but why don't I, you know, why don't I go treat myself to getting my stuff back first. Oh, God. I suck. I suck. Wonder if there's not a better way to attack those things. Maybe I should just attack them on the ground. Yes, come to me. Come to me, my juicy morsel. You, come here. Yeah, none of that shit right now, man. Okay. So many kids in the house. Need to turn the sound up. You know why? I think it's time for a little grub roundup. Come on, man. Leave me alone with this bullshit. Miss me with this, please. Alright. We did alright that time. I don't know why. I just instinctively want to check my map. Alright. These things are no es bueno. Out of here. But I think if I use my Juicy Juice Maya attack, then we're gonna be alright. What is this? A tram pass. That's exactly what I probably maybe sort of needed to take the train earlier, right? A lifetime pass to the tramways connecting parts of Hollow Nest. These passes cost a huge amount of geo, and each purchase required authorization by the king. So I have to spend geo on top of just having the ticket? Come on, man. Come on. Miss me with this capitalist bullshit. Just let me live. Let me save the world, whatever it is I'm doing here. I'm pretty sure this guy's just here to fuck things up. I mean, I don't even know what our purpose is. We landed in town, and then we instantly started destroying all monuments. Everything that we saw had to crumble. It was just decreed like that. I don't know why I thought those mushrooms had to die, but damn if they didn't get it. Okay. I think that's all there was to this room. Getting a train ticket. Fuck your table. That's right. I said it. I'm, controversial like that. Here we go again. More bullshit grubbies again. And my timing's off. Oh my fucking god. Die! Die! Boy, I am seriously off tonight. Let me see, is my tea warm? Is it sippable? Is it safe? Nice and hot. Perfect. And delicious. Got that apple cinnamon goodness up in here. Oh shit. Why does it sometimes go off and sometimes it doesn't? Get out of here! For the love of God! Alright. Oh, there was a, hold on. Down here. I don't think I ever went down here. Oh, fuck. Well, for good reason. Nope. 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 No, sir. I don't want to fuck with it. Not until I go buy the lamp, or... I'm pretty sure one of the stores had a lamp. Had a Legend of Zelda 2 Link's Adventure style lamp for me to use. Let's go have a rest. Look at our little mappy. Okay. Well, so there's more stuff to explore in the shadowy area. We fell down, but I'm not gonna go mess with it until we got a lamp. Fungal wastes are just right up there. So, and I don't remember fungal wastes. Was that the area with all the boiling water? Let's go that direction. Oh god. Ah! Fun. Hey, is this secret? No? No? Okay. What's happening? Right. Right, there's centipedes or something. If I can go up from here. Oh, the grubs. Very good. Okay. Oh. Do I remember this? I feel like I remember. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just making shit up again. Here we go. Just making stuff up. That's how it happens. That's what lack of sleep and general delirium will get you. No, don't you jump at me. That's a bad dog. That's a bad dog. You need more training. Back to PetSmart with you. Talk to your trainer. Don't jump up. Dang it. Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! No! No! I just want to heal! I just wanted to heal, man. Come on. Alright, let's go. I'm done whining. Okay. I figure we'll play. We'll do the usual. We'll play maybe for 40 minutes. And then we'll stop. Read a spooky story. I know just the one we're going to read. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get. Yeah. Night of praising the Lord on this stream. Hallelujah. Because fuck. Alright. Not again. Oh. Into the O. Come back to me, little ghosty. Okay. 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 Get back! Get back! Vicious. Fuck! Gotta cook them. We're gonna be making some chicken tenders tonight. Oh, this is okay. Forget it. Forget it. Just forget it. I guess they just endlessly spawn? Is that what's going down right now? Because... just get out of here. Just run. Just freaking run. They won't stop. These damn things. Gotta heal before they come back. This is starting to feel like Castlevania 64 now. The skeletons just don't stop spawning. developers were like, nah, you know what? Who needs to intricately plan level design and monster placement and, you know, thoughtfully create challenges for the player? Just create a spawn radius around the player and endlessly spawn monsters. That's good enough. We ain't got time. Endlessly spawn the grubs. Playing for fun? What is that? Oh, no. Bad dog. Bad biscuit. Alright, we're certainly going the roundabout way, aren't we? No. No. Leave me be. Spirits, why do you haunt me? What's going on over here? This is looking awfully pleasant. Where are we? Where's my little face? There's my little face. Why, we're next to the Queen's Station, we are. He's got the Dragon Balls. I'm just gonna bow my head in respect. Praise Mossy. Good. Death to the non-greeners. Okay. Right. Amen. Jesus, die! Die! Go on, Galaka, Zano Chererel, Gonele, go on! Oh, radiant being, we are blessed. Your rays touch us. Your warmth fills us. Oh, don't talk to me about warmth filling you, sir. This is not appropriate. This is YouTube. They're stricter about that. Unless you're a paid advertisement, then you just get away with pornography. Although I never get those ads. Everybody. Oh, God, I need to silence that for a second. Oh, people on Reddit are always saying, some people on Reddit are always complaining. It's like, oh God, look at all this pornography in my ads and stuff. Look what they're recommending. This is ridiculous. And on one hand, I'm like, yeah, that is ridiculous. But point number two is that I've never seen that stuff on my YouTube. Never. So it always surprises me when people post that up, and I'm like, damn, that sucks. I would hate to get that too, but at the same time, I'm not getting any of that. So, and those ads are targeted. People, you're telling on yourselves by saying you're getting those ads. We know what kind of videos you're looking up on YouTube. It doesn't even have to be like pornography videos on YouTube. It could just be like stuff that's, you know, ecchi and generally leans towards that. You know? And of course those ads are going to target you for it. Just don't. Just don't. How are we in 2024 and you people don't know how to just go search your crazy stuff on a private search engine or DuckDuckGo or something? Just don't do it on Google or YouTube, or else the ad algorithm is going to get you and tell on you. Back to this blathering thing. Hallownest is born again, united in your blazing image. Oh, damn, this thing is annoying. It really reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie. No, put down your pitchforks. Not that that game was annoying, but I loved that game when it first released on the Nintendo. I need to turn this down again. I loved Banjo-Kazooie when it first released on Nintendo 64, but going back to it years and years later and replaying it a while back, I mean, it's still fun to play, but those voices did kind of get to me after a while, so this thing is absolutely a reject from Banjo-Kazooie. Light is life, beaming, pure, brilliant. To stifle that light is to suppress nature. Oh, I can't take it. Alright, I can't take it. Just get me away from this thing. This is... I am officially an adult. I can't take this stuff anymore. As a kid, I would have been like, oh, this is neat, cool, funny, As an adult, I'm just like, oh god, please stop. Please. Oh, what was the point of that thing? What was the point of that creature? Oh shit. Oh no. Come on, man. Really? Alright, here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Just run. Just freaking run for it. Juice up. This place got traps for days. Where are we? We're in the jumpy place, right? Mantis Village, the deep... Okay, yep. We made a big circle. There's a little door down there in the boss room. Have I noticed that door before? There better not be a bench in that door, I swear to God. You know, I'm tempted to go towards that door. I know I need to go explore. Hell, that's part of my exploration. Let's go. Grubby! Come on, little buddy, you're free. That's right. Into the ground. Right here for a second. I don't know why I keep checking the map. Oh, fuck. Okay. Alright. 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 Come on, little thing. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want to fuck around. Just making sure there's nothing down here. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be more of like a exploration and catch-up stream. I don't know how much progress we'll actually make. Because I got some exploration to do, and then I want to go check out where to upgrade the nail. I guess go talk to some people again and figure that out. Let's see, some guy was saying there was a village that we could do it. But was he saying further in, or... I don't remember. So anyway, we could go to the Queen Station now, but I'm thinking I'm going to go to the right and explore that little thing below me. And then I'm going to go down to the boss room. Right, this is the way I want to go? Yeah. I always double and triple check, needlessly so, because I don't want to waste time. I don't want to just be confidently incorrect, march my way. Oh my god, not this. Fuck. This shit. I see. So this is a shortcut. Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you, game. We always appreciate shortcuts. We don't know anything. Okay, well this was pointless. What the fuck? Right. I guess I'm gonna get like a double jump or a dash up. I don't know. I am now officially farther than I've ever been in Hollow Knight. So we're in uncharted territory. Not that I even knew what the heck we were doing to begin with on this replay, because I couldn't remember hardly any of it. It had been so long, it had been years. Oh, are they taking nappies? Here we go. I don't know why I needed a nap. Should know by now. Oh. Well, fiddle-dee-dee. And butter my biscuits 3. Screw you. Yeah, what now? What now? Okay. What we got? The Mark of Pride. It's the Mark of Pride. Freely given by the Mantis tribe to those they respect. Greatly increases the range of the bearer's nail. Costs 3 notches. Well, of course it does. Because that is a badass charm. Okay. Damn. Whatever. What is this one? More often. You know, I think it's honestly worth it to just unequip everything and get this bad boy, that's for sure. Okay. Dream catching. Not much to do. Ooh. Stay up with you. Ooh. Hey, it's a bench. It's a bench! But you know, I couldn't get over here before because the little mantis would shut the door. Not to be Dr. Seuss about it. Oh, but he couldn't get through. He couldn't get through before. Because the mantis would shut, the grubbledy-grubble mantis would shutty the door. Hey, I'm in a chest. Mother? May I come out of the chest now, Mother? Alright, what is this? What is this? It's a hollow nest seal. Now holds little value, except for those dedicated to the kingdom's history. So yeah, I guess maybe I'm looking for somebody who's interested in the history or historical artifacts. Perhaps they will want to purchase or exchange for goods and or services. Oh my god, there's so much treasure here. What the hell? I'm betting this was basically locked until you beat the boss. That is my educated guess, and it comes from very little education, let's be honest, but all the same. Professor, that's my dissertation, and I think I'm just going to go with that. Would have been nice to have that bench before. Because the walk back wasn't terrible, but it was a bit of a nuisance. Wasn't terrible. It wasn't great either. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? I have 2,500 shillings. The Forgotten Crossroads. Why don't I go up? Up. No! No! My lord! Oh, they're... Oh, cool! Well... well then. Alright. Well, give your life. Oh, fuck, he's mad. Oh, it pissed him off. He was totally cool with me, and he was just like, oh, my lord. I'm like, yes, my sacrifice. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. My liege. Servant. That's really fucking cool. I can't jump on that. I guess I cannot jump. I cannot wall jump it. It is not wall jumpable. Come give me kisses. Yeah, here. And I have no idea who told me about that nail. One of the NPCs. I think our goal right now is to just kind of slowly make our... Oh my god, what am I up? What am I even doing? Being silly. I am just being a oh fuck. Oh fuck. No, no. That's the wrong kind of silly. I don't like this silly. Nope. That's too much for me. Yeah, someone told me about a nail upgrade. That would be great. And the thing is, they were saying, oh, well, you can get that before you fight this boss. It might make the boss easier for you. Yes. And I'm like, okay, so it must be somewhere. Somewhere around here. But, who knows? Here ends the pilgrim's way. Hollow Nest's heart lays open before you. Proceed onward to share in its glory. Fuck! Fuck! Oh my. Hollow Knight's having a bad time right now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying. I swear to God, I'm trying my best. Fuck! Yes. We did it. Fuck! Well, here we go. Here we go. This is crunch time. Fuck! We did it, boys. What the hell is this? I don't know, so let's fuck it up. Let's just fuck it up. It just gives us soul. It gives us good shit. Oh god. No, 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 no. No, no, no. So. Alright, let me get this straight. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. We did that. First ever to unlock this section of the world in Hollow Knight. No one else has gotten this far. You won't find anything about this area on GameFAQs.com. No YouTube walkthroughs from it. It's just nobody has ever seen this before. World first. World first. What the hell? A large statue. A large knight statue. There's a socket on its chest. Insert the city crest. Sure, what's the worst that could happen? Cool. Alright, well I thought I was trading those for... Oh. You gonna Zelda me right now? You gonna Zelda me right now? Holy fucking shit! Why? Why does everything have to explode? It's a... Welp. Oh god. Cue the Attack on Titan theme song right now because... Oh, I don't have a map for this area. Wherever the fuck we are. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Hold on. No, not right now. Not right now, sir. No, thank you. Well. Well, sir. I guess I don't have a choice. Well, he wasn't so bad. Just extra cautious right now because we're in uncharted territory. No! Just out of nowhere, squeak! All right, where the hell am I going? There. Go on, get. Oh, well, this is super moody. It would help if I opened up my little teacup. Ah, that's good shit. Oh, hey, I can use the right analog stick. Hey, 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 hey. Sure? Sure? This is very moody right now. This is very moody. I feel like garbage needs to be playing in the background. I'm only happy when it rains. Surprisingly, I don't really hear any music. Am I doing... Oh. I was gonna say, am I doing this wrong? Am I a fucking idiot? The great gates have been sealed. None shall enter. None shall leave. Okay. Cool. My buddy! Why don't we just sit? Hey, what's up? Nothing? I mean, I kind of want this. No, I won't you. I know you want me. No, I won't you. I'm gonna go for it. Sir?
Nah, me nobis.
Ah, the capital lies before us, my friend. What a somber place it seems, and one that holds the answers to many a mystery. I, too, have felt the pull of this place, though now I sit before it. I find myself hesitant to descend. Is it fear, I wonder, or something else that holds me back?
Goa, nudo ilamak.
The city looks to be built into an enormous cavern, and the rain pours down from the cracks in the stone above. There must be a lot of water up there somewhere. I suppose, if the cave roof stayed strong this long, it should hold for us. Before I leave this kingdom, I'd like to see where all that water comes from. What a sight it must be. Cool. Seems like a good increased range. I feel like. Look at our map. No, I don't have a map yet. Right, do we? Oi, oi, oi. You know what? We're at 44 minutes. Now is a good time. Why was the music volume at 0? God dang it. I was like, you know, that's surprising. There's no music. This game usually has great music. Here I am playing the entire goddamn game without any music whatsoever. All right, let's read a spooky story. We're almost there at Halloween. I've only read so many short stories. I meant to read so many more, but didn't really get to stream as often as I wanted to. Part of that is work and life, generally being very tired at night, the only time I can stream. And then the other part is my terrible, terrible life decisions. You know, I had a week off of work, so I had a week where I could have really streamed every single night, and I planned on doing that. Except, I made the serious mistake of rewatching Attack on Titan, because I hadn't seen the final season yet, and I've been putting it off because I know, ever since I started watching Attack on Titan in the first season, I have been hooked on that show. And I caught Attack on Titan when the first season just ended. So I was able to binge that show. I was just able to binge it, and it's I don't hardly binge anything ever. I just watch at my leisure. But that's one of the very few shows that I just binge. I have to. I watch as much as I can. You know, it's hard to put down. Even on rewatches, it's hard to put down. It's addicting. I love it. It's a fantastic show. It's wonderfully written. There's a lot I could say about it. I remember when season 2 dropped, I did not even look at any episodes. I stayed away from it until the whole season was done. When the whole season was done, I went and binged that because I knew I was not going to be able to put up with watching one episode a week and waiting to know what happened. I'd be tearing my hair out. Did the same thing for season 3. Although I think season 3 came out in parts, so I was willing to watch the whole parts or binge the whole parts. So when the first part came out, I binged that, and the second part, I binged that. And then 4 came out, and I just knew when the new season comes out, I like to rewatch the older episodes, the original season. So I knew that once I started, I would be binging, and if I binge, there goes my productivity. All this shit all this stuff I'm working on, YouTube streams and video editing and writing and programming and trying to learn a bunch of stuff, and there's too much crap that I've got going on. And I just knew, it's like, well, you know, if I start Attack on Titan, it's going to kill my productivity, so I better wait. And I've been waiting for years. Too long. So this week I was like, you know what? I've got a week off. I should do it. I want to do it. I should do something for myself. And I believe that when, you know, we shouldn't just be working in life, because we live in a society where we have to work. There's no way around that. We have no choice. This is what we all agreed to do when we decided to all role play together and make up these positions of power with each other. We've all agreed to the same game with the same rules. And with that said, we all agreed that we're just going to go ahead and be wage slaves. Most of us, anyway. So there's no way around that. But because of that, we have to make sure we carve out time for ourselves and time for things that we like to do, not for things that are going to make us money, but things that just bring us joy. And those things can be hobbies. Those things can include just playing video games, recreational stuff, watching movies, listening to music, making music, writing, reading, whatever it could be. Biking, exercise. It doesn't matter. Everybody's different. Everybody finds joy somewhere. It's not always the same. So yeah, I thought, you know what? It's time. It's time. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. I was just checking to make sure we were still streaming too. I gotta remember to check my Streamlabs over here. So yeah, huge mistake. Because there went my productivity. I had all these plans. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work on my video editing. I'm gonna work on some thumbnails. I'm gonna go work on this writing. I joined a writing contest. I'm gonna go work on this. I'm gonna go get some streaming done at night. Great. Nope, didn't happen. Didn't happen. I got a little bit of stuff done, but not a lot, because I was just, again, addicted. As soon as I started watching Attack on Titan, I just couldn't put it down. Still in the middle of the rewatch. Haven't gotten to the new stuff yet. Let's put the controller down. I've got my controller like I'm about to play these horror short stories. We've been reading short stories on Readsy prompts, readsy.com. It's a blog I stumbled upon recently. It seems to be a pretty cool site. They've got a lot of reading contests and prompts that you can write along with. They also seem to have some type of writing classes. and some books that they advertise, things like that. But I think what I like most is that there's a ton of free short stories to read from other authors who have submitted to previous weekly writing contests on Readsy, and they've been really good so far. Now, I mean, we've only read a few, so I'm sure out of 5,700 plus horror short stories, there's probably going to be some that are stronger than others. But so far, the ones we've read have been fantastic. And speaking of reading, we recently read one short story from Contest 272, Out for the Count. I've got that video up on my other channel. This seems to be the winner of the contest, though. It's Drone by Mortimer Ridgewood, so I figure we'll read that one tonight. Assuming it's not like too long. I actually haven't clicked into this and checked it out, but it's got 69 likes, 46 comments, so seems pretty popular right now. There is a trigger warning, so just be advised the story contains themes or mentions of mental health issues. So, FYI, don't know what that means. It seems to be an average length, so we should be able to get through this in probably 10 minutes. 10, 15, just depends on certain things, so why don't we dive into it? This is Drone by Mortimer Ridgewood. She first heard it while she was making coffee. The morning was already off to a rough start. Rachel had woken up, lazy and languid in the wake of her twice-snoozed alarm, and reached for her husband's side of the bed. Much to her disgruntlement, the spot where he should have been was empty and cold. She glared at the empty space for a moment, then promptly snoozed her alarm again out of spite. One of the downsides of working from home was she missed out on good morning kisses as Mark got ready for his morning commute. The upside, however, was she could take a few extra minutes to pout about it. Once her alarm declared her brooding time was over, Rachel sighed, put the alarm to rest for good, and pulled herself out of bed. She immediately had the urge to crawl back into it. The air beyond her cozy covers was chilly with mid-October refusal to turn on the heater until absolutely necessary. Mark. This story is very relatable so far. Even worse, as soon as she was upright, she was reminded of every little discomfort that came with having an adult human body. Back pain, ankle pain, jaw pain from sleeping strangely, and a bonus ache in her joints from the cold. Oh, and after a few moments upright, she also needed to pee. All the usuals checked off. After a brief stop by the bathroom, Rachel shambled her way into the kitchen like the zombie she sometimes suspected herself to be. Undead or not, she still had bills to pay, meaning she needed to be alert enough to do her job. A strong, hot cup of coffee was in order. She made her way to the coffee machine and fell into familiar routine, seeking her prize almost on muscle memory. She got a mug from the cabinet. She set it beneath the machine's dispenser. She opened the machine's lid. Something began to buzz. She reached into the cabinet again. She retrieved an off-brand K-cup. The buzzing grew louder. She put the cup into the coffee machine. She closed the lid. The crunch felt violent. She selected 8 ounce on the little touch screen. The buzzing became a drone. She pressed the button beneath the touch screen. The machine began to whir. She could barely hear it over the droning. The floor creaked behind her. Something was watching her. Something was watching her. The world snapped back into uncomfortable clarity as she whirled around, nearly knocking a jar of sugar to the floor in the process. There was nothing behind her, of course. She was alone in her apartment. Mark had left for work before she had woken up, and a quick glance to the right confirmed the door had been locked behind him. He even remembered to lock the deadbolt that morning. No one was there. The only sounds to be heard being the coffee maker steaming and the pounding of Rachel's heartbeat. No buzz, no drone. Rachel took a deep breath, then leaned back against the counter with a groan. Shaking off the adrenaline, she opened the fridge to grab some creamer and poured a generous amount into her cup. As she stirred her coffee, she reached for the pill container next to the kitchen sink. What better way to christen a fresh cup of coffee than by using it to wash down an unassuming little capsule? Not that she needed the coffee anymore. After whatever the hell that was, she was plenty awake. Coffee in hand regardless, she crossed the apartment to settle into her office and get to work. Over 6 months in, and her job still felt too good to be true. She'd managed to land a remote biller position for a telehealth practice. Medical billing was a notorious nightmare of paperwork, but that made it perfect for Rachel. Translating rejection errors, filling in boxes, deciphering ERAs, that scratched a mental itch she hadn't realized she had. And the best part? Through the whole process, she hardly had to speak to a single soul. She could put on some music, bury her head in paperwork, and not worry about the world beyond her office for hours. Speaking of paperwork, signing into the practice's EHR revealed several bright red claim rejections waiting to be reviewed. They were all from the same insurance company, and all related to the same clinician. All related to the same clinician. So Rachel's first guess was an MPI-related issue. That puzzle led her to another, and soon enough, she found herself easing into a natural flow of work. She deciphered the error message. She emailed the clinician. I think that's how you say it. She emailed the clinician. She opened the next batch of rejections. She ignored the drone. She turned up her music. She pulled up a patient profile. She selected the billable dates of service. The droning overpowered her music. She double-checked the payer address. She finished the intimidating red form. Her jaw still ached. She submitted the claim. It was so loud. She opened another ERA. The drone was right behind her. It was in her lungs. She couldn't breathe. Her monitor suddenly shut off. She stared into her reflection. Something else stared back. Rachel pushed herself away from the desk with a gasp, nearly knocking over her chair in the process. She shivered and blinked at her computer screen, still on, lit with the awkward tables and blocks of text of insurance paperwork. She turned her head to look to the left of the screen, at her office window. The glare from the still rising sun provided her a decent view of her reflection, normal and familiar. It hadn't been real. Rachel was safe, alone. Still, she turned around and double-checked that her office door was closed before she slid her chair back into place, just to be safe. Just for her own foolish reassurance. The workday continued. She got back into a rhythm, forcing herself to focus, even when she started to hear that drone again. It wasn't real after all. It was just a trick, her brain playing games with her in retaliation for too little rest. Lunch rolled around at noon like usual, but the memory of that morning made Rachel hesitate. She had to leave her office to get her lunch from the fridge. Why did that make her nervous? Even if the drone came back while she was in the kitchen, it couldn't hurt her. It wasn't real. She gave the coffee machine a wide berth anyway, taking the long way around the kitchen island to get to the fridge and scolding herself for being stupid the entire time. And for apparently leaving the creamer sitting out, she realized. God, what was with her that morning? Why was she having such a strange day? She shook her head at herself, then set the likely spoiled creamer by the sink to dump out later. She would deal with that mess after she had tucked into some leftover pasta. She opened the fridge. She picked up the plastic container. She opened the lid. Her hands were so cold. She put the container in the microwave. She pressed the 1 button. Hands were shaking. The microwave turned on. The hum sounded off. The container began to spin. The hum wasn't coming from the microwave. Rachel turned around. The drone was in the office. The container kept spinning. The drone came closer to the door. Rachel was in danger. She could feel the drone in her bones. She couldn't move. There was nowhere to run. The microwave beeped, and Rachel yelped, jumping in place, and tears stinging the corners of her eyes. She started shaking, wrapping her arms around herself. There was nothing to be afraid of, and yet for some bizarre reason, Rachel felt as if she was being hunted by something. What exactly she couldn't articulate, which just made her fear more frustratingly irrational. She was a grown woman. Couldn't she handle a few weird sounds scattered across her day? Briefly, she considered texting Mark. He could stay on the phone with her while he was at work. He'd done it before. If she really needed him to, she was sure he'd come home. But what was it? But what was she meant to say? There was a strange noise following her around the apartment, making her feel like she was going to die? That was absurd. If she texted Mark that, he'd come home, sure. He'd come home with a cop to take her to a mental hospital. Rachel grabbed her food from the microwave and left it on the counter to cool. She wasn't hungry anymore. She'd just throw it away later, after work. Missing lunch once wouldn't kill her, right? She felt like she'd been asking herself a lot of questions like that the past few hours, avoiding the question she didn't want to answer. The question idled in the back of her mind as she went back to her office. It let her sit back down and start to settle at her desk again, then slowly crept up on her, in time to the rise of an unsettling, familiar sound. What was making that noise? It was nothing. Rachel knew that. The drone that was drifting up from her doorway again wasn't real, which meant nothing was making it. That nothing sure was loud, though, for something that didn't exist. The more Rachel let herself focus on it, the more she started to notice. It was hard to hear anything beyond the droning, but if she really focused, she could have sworn she heard the whisper of feet on carpet as it came closer. The drone was giving her a headache. She focused on it anyway. The drone came closer. She could hear the whisper of feet on carpet. It came closer still. It radiated cold. It was standing right behind her. She could feel its shadow over her. It wasn't real. It couldn't be. It was. Rachel screamed, swinging into open air as she turned to push away whatever that thing behind her was. Much to her tearful frustration, it was gone again, the mind-numbing drone having retreated to the living room. It was in the living room. There was something there, something dangerous. It was toying with her, like a hunter that knew its prey was cornered. And now that she had acknowledged it, it was bound to go in for the kill. Well, Rachel wasn't going to let it have her. She forced herself up on shaking legs, stumbling to the office door and pushing it closed. She turned the lock, for all the good that would do, and started to back away. Just as she did, the drone suddenly rose to a crescendo, and a heavy weight slammed against the hollow wood door. Rachel startled, stumbling back until she found herself in the corner of her office with nowhere else to go. The thing slammed against the door again. Rachel sank to the floor. The drone was furious. The door couldn't hold forever. Rachel hugged her knees and sobbed. The door shook with its rage. Rachel closed her eyes. She hoped Mark would be okay without her. The office door started to splinter. The front door opened. "Rachel?" The monster stopped throwing itself at the door, and Rachel's head jerked up. That was Mark's voice. Oh God, no. "Mark, don't come inside!" Rachel yelled. "Leave! Lock the door behind you! Don't let it get to you!" "Rachel, what are you talking about?" Mark called back, paying her warnings no mind. To Rachel's horror, the drone moved away from the office and back toward the kitchen, where her unsuspecting husband was. She started to choke on her sobs as grief and panic clashed in her throat. It was going to get Mark, too. The monster was going to kill him, and then it was going to come back to the office and finish what it started with her. How long would it take for someone to notice they were dead? Would her coworkers worry after a few days of silence? Would her neighbors notice Mark's car never left? Would her parents call for welfare check when she stopped answering their texts? "Oh, honey, hey, it's okay. You're okay. Can you open your eyes for me, please?" Slowly, disbelieving, Rachel opened her eyes. She lifted her head to find Mark kneeling in front of her. He was completely fine, the office door wide open, and the apartment quiet aside from her confused sobs. How? Did the monster escape out the front door? Did Mark kill it? "Can I hold you, sweetheart?" Mark asked, settling on the floor in front of her. Rachel nodded, and Mark gently coaxed her forward into his lap. "There we go," he said gently. "It's okay. I got you. It's okay. You're safe. You're safe." Rachel wrapped her arms around him, still shaking as she hid her face in his shoulder. "Did you see it?" she asked him. "Did you see where it went? Mark, I thought it was going to kill me. I almost died." "Baby," Mark replied, "I don't know if there was a monster. Do you think you might have been hallucinating?" "What?" Rachel felt her thoughts stutter to a halt. "Hallucinating? But the psychiatrist lowered the dose of your cyprasidone a couple weeks ago, remember? And she warned us that your brain might react badly to it," Mark reminded her. "She said it might even trigger an episode, so we needed to be watching for it. Do you think that could be what happened? That you could have been hallucinating because your brain's not adjusting well to the lower dosage?" Suddenly, just like that, the previous several hours of panic felt embarrassingly unnecessary. The last of Rachel's panic dissolved in an instant, replaced by hot shame that warmed her face and neck. "Oh my God," she mumbled into Mark's shirt. "I was totally hallucinating, wasn't I?" She felt Mark's shoulders loosen under her head in relief. "Yeah, Rach, I think so," he said, bringing a hand up to play with her hair. "But it's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of, remember? Schizophrenia's an irregular bitch. We couldn't have known for sure if it was going to be okay with you taking less medication, which is why we didn't go cold turkey, right? Now we know. We'll get you back on your regular dose first thing tomorrow morning. Take a few days off work to make sure you're adjusting all right, and we'll tell the psychiatrist it didn't work out. It's okay. You're fine." Rachel took deep breaths as he spoke. letting his words sink in. His reassurances didn't chase all the embarrassment away, but they did help. At the very least, she knew that Mark wasn't upset. God, I hope the neighbors weren't home, she said after a moment, lifting her head. I think I was screaming. I really thought something was there, Mark. God, I haven't had an episode like that in years. Yeah, that sounds like it sucked ass, Mark agreed, leaning back on one hand. How about this? You clock out early, take the next few days off, tell your boss you aren't feeling well. Then you'll sit on the couch while I make a big pot of chili with extra diced tomatoes. And we spend the rest of the day watching terrible reality TV and bastardizing the ideal chili to Fritos ratio. Sound good? Rachel met Mark's eyes for a moment, considering, then leaped up and kissed him. I love you, she said simply. Mark chuckled and responded, I'll take that as a yes. 10 minutes to email her boss, and a few more kisses found Rachel settled on the couch as promised, wrapped up in the fluffiest blanket she and Mark owned. A British chef was yelling on the television, and Mark was bustling around the kitchen, opening drawers and cabinets while the ground beef browned on the stove. For the first time since she'd woken up, Rachel felt truly grounded and calm. Hey, Rach, do you know where our can opener is? Mark called from his spot by the stove. Check the sink, Rachel called back. Dishes clattered together for a moment before Mark cheered softly, Success! And then turned on the faucet to wash the can opener. By the way, he asked, why's our creamer sitting next to the sink? Oh, that was my bad, Rachel apologized. I accidentally left it out this morning. Man, that's another thing that should have tipped me off. I've been having disorganized symptoms for days. I didn't catch them either, Mark pointed out. And out of the two of us, I'm the one more likely to notice something's up. Don't beat yourself up about it, okay? Okay, Rachel chuckled, rolling her eyes. Mark was starting to go a little overboard with his effort to keep her from feeling bad, but it was sweet how much he cared. It was also just nice not to be judged. She wished more people's partners could be like Mark. The conversation gave way to comfortable silence. Something began to buzz in the office. The buzz slowly built into a drone. Rachel sighed, acknowledging that the drone monster was a hallucination, evidently hadn't sent it away. Acknowledging that the droning monster was a hallucination, evidently hadn't sent it away. She took a deep breath, focused on the TV, and ignored it. Thankfully, the droning faded on its own, and would probably be good to keep track of her reoccurring hallucination. Thankfully, the droning faded on its own, but would probably be good to keep track of her recurring hallucinations until she was steady. That in mind, Rachel looked toward the kitchen to tell Mark that she was hearing things again, only to notice he wasn't facing the stove. He wasn't looking at her either. He was looking toward the office. Rachel's blood ran cold. Time seemed to slow down as Mark finally looked at her and asked the one thing she wished he wouldn't. Do you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was a great story. That's definitely a winning short story for this contest. Wow. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. I started fumbling a little bit on the read. Not that I'm perfect. everybody fumbles, but I started fumbling a lot because I was getting so wrapped up in the story that, you know, when I'm really involved in a story, I like to read faster. You know, reading in my head, I'm reading faster, but since I'm reading out loud, obviously if my head's going faster than my mouth here, then I start fumbling a little bit. I start misinterpreting the intent of the sentence, and I'm just ready to get through it and be like, what the heck is happening? One of the things I absolutely adored and adore about this story is how relatable it is, especially the beginning. This beginning was calling me out. I felt attacked, and I definitely could relate it to my wife as well, Jessica. I think she could relate to a lot of this. In fact, later I think I'm going to have her look at this short story and read it herself because I think she'll get a kick out of it. Jess would absolutely adore this opening as well, because this is absolutely us. This is both of us as far as like waking up, hitting snooze. That's most of us. But the idea of like getting right back into the cozy blankets because it's cold and chilly out, and then just getting the morning coffee. I commute like 3 days out of the week, work from home the rest of the days. So on those 3 days, I'm like out of bed and up before Jess is awake. So it sucks. But so this is very relatable as far as the morning commute. The story was just perfectly paced as well. I really loved the build of tension that the author Mortimer Ridgewood did. Just expertly done. In my opinion, it was a slow burn, which is perfect for this type of short story, because the point of this particular story isn't plot driven, it's tension, it's feelings driven, it's character driven. So we gotta sit in the moment and stew and really just let it crawl over us. You know, we can't just rush through these things. It's not about what's happening, it's about how it's happening and how it's making our characters feel and how it's making us feel through as proxies for the characters, or character in this case is really just Rachel driving it the whole time with Mark coming in later. That ending, especially as I was reading that last paragraph, I was getting chills. I was getting slight ASMR back here, which that's a whole nother thing. A lot of people, I learned not that long ago, maybe a couple years ago, I learned what ASMR really is, and I learned it's basically those little tingles you get, you know, throughout your head, back of your neck and stuff like that. It can be triggered by any number of things. For me, it's triggered, actually it's just kind of triggered randomly. It was triggered right here when I was reading that final paragraph. It was so impactful. I was like, oh shit. You know, but sometimes I'll get it and I'll like listening to music. Certain songs will trigger it for sure. You know, when I've got inspiration happening, it'll trigger some movies and scenes, things that are really impactful, meaningful to me will trigger it. So, but other people, I guess ASMR gets triggered by very specific sound and sound work. So you see that a lot on YouTube. It's like ASMR video, and for the longest time, I just thought ASMR meant, oh, it's people whispering, you know, bullshit in your ear and doing da-da-da-da-da. That's cool for some people, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm cool. I don't need buttons and little soft, crisp audio in my ear and stuff like that. But nope. So yeah, I was totally getting the tingles and chills at this part. This was so perfectly done. Now about this ending, though, as I got to this ending, I had no idea where they were going to take it until I got to this quote. And then I was like, okay, the turn is that Mark hears it too. So something really is there with them. It's like, oh shit. But for a moment there, once I got to this final paragraph, I was actually suspecting that maybe the whole thing with Mark was a hallucination, that she was actually still having an episode. And part of me almost wants to just hold on to that and supplant it over what the actual turn that's been put forward. you know, it kind of, part of me wants to just say, no, that is really what it was, because if I'm thinking about it, Rachel is going through a moment, she's hearing the buzzing, right? And she gets to a point where she finally just locks herself up in her office and she's shutting her eyes and she's just trying to make it go away. And then it does. And then suddenly Mark is there. Whereas before, Mark was like banging on the door. Well, what was happening before Mark was banging on the door? Well, the buzzing was banging on the door. Right? The buzzing was banging on the door. So now Mark is banging on the door. Now suddenly Mark is in the office. Yeah, the front door started to splinter. The front door opened. I guess he broke down the door. I guess he must have broke down the door, but just this idea that suddenly the buzzing was knocking and banging on the door, and then suddenly it turns into Mark, and then he's there, and everything is fine. Then couple that with the thought that I had as I was getting towards the end, and I was reading that last paragraph, I thought to myself, you know what? Why is Mark home? I don't think it said in this story that I don't think there was an explanation in the story. I don't think it was said anywhere that he had a half day or that he was coming home early. I'm pretty sure I didn't read that she called him. Maybe I'm crazy. And excuse me for using the term crazy for anyone who lives through this mental health issue. I know that can be a trigger word, so I apologize about that, but I'm using it very facetiously. So no offense. It's like, maybe I'm having the mental health crisis right now, and I just don't remember, but I don't recall reading an explanation for why Mark is suddenly there. Because, and we could say, well, maybe so much time has passed that it's just the end of his day. It's the end of his work day. He does get up early, right? So if he gets up super early, maybe he would be back a little bit earlier than normal, maybe? But we don't know how long his commute is, and I have to get up stupid early because I have a 2-hour commute. Not to make this a stream about complaining about work, but I have a stupid commute just to get to work and then just to work a full day and then, you know, come home. So that's a whole day for me. For a regular commute, for some people, I can't imagine you're home near lunchtime, and I'm assuming this is still near lunchtime because she made lunch, right? So she made lunch, and then she didn't eat it. She went back to work, and as soon as she went back to work, you know, we can assume maybe 10 to 30 minutes have passed. We'll be generous and say up to 30 minutes could have passed. As she was working, I just wanted to see again if it confirmed that idled back in her mind. Yeah, it's almost instant that the narrative presents the drone again. Now, but we can be generous and say maybe some time has passed, but could it have really been that long? And I think if a long time had passed, the prose would have indicated that, right? Like the narration would have indicated significant time had passed, or at least given us the impression of that, because it had given us that impression for other time passes before. So that tells me, like, well, Mark is coming back home around noon, around lunchtime. Why? And he didn't give an explanation. He's just there. Right? So maybe this is when he normally comes home. We don't know. We don't have enough information, but I found that odd. So that also makes me think, well, why is he home? And then, of course, he's being perfect, right? And maybe he's always perfect. Maybe he's always like that, but he's just being perfect and understanding. He's cooking and she's watching TV and she's just taking the rest of the day off and everything is fine. But then the buzzing happens again. Honestly, but man, when that buzzing started happening again, oh, I was getting those chills, getting those tingles. It was I hardly ever get that reading. This was just so wonderfully done. But yeah, I think that's a valid theory. It's not just a theory, but a short story theory. Thanks for watching. Matt Pet, we miss you. With that said, fan-frickin-tastic. Absolutely earned its win. I loved it. So, but yeah, that's my headcanon. I think Mark actually did it. Oh, what? Mark actually did it. My head is thinking about something else right now. I'm thinking Mark was a hallucination as well, and maybe this is all part of the hallucination. I think it's valid. Let's see what the comments have to say, though. Out of the 69 likes, Amanda Rose writes, "Now I want to know what it was. Good job with the plot, although I do agree with MJ Brewer in that Mark might have been a teeny bit too understanding for a little bit there. I will also say that the story might have flowed better without the language, you know? Anyway, it was a great story, certainly worth the win. Wish you much success with your future writing. God bless." Ooh. Why am I not signed in? Scott Burkhalter writes, "Congratulations on the win. That was an excellent story. Early in the story, I could feel the twist building, but couldn't see it. Then it disappeared completely, only to catch me by surprise at the end. Yeah, same here. Masterfully written. Like, I knew we were spending too long in happy times, so I got the sense that something must be coming. But still, my guard was down. I was just happy that she was settling back in. Mark was there. I didn't know what was about to come, but I was like, I'm happy we're here." John Rutherford says, "Congratulations." And then Mary Bendixson writes, "Congrats on the win. We'll have to return later to read. Suspenseful. Good. You didn't even read it yet? Come on, Mary. Come on." But I get it. The infamous MJ Brewer. "This story is truly interesting. One suggestion for next time, when using unfamiliar acronyms, consider explaining them so readers don't need to look them up. You don't want them to pause the story. I was beginning to dislike Mark for being overly understanding, but the ending gave me chills. Great job." Now, I think that's a great tip for writers. No matter what you're writing. Yeah, anytime you have a bunch of unfamiliar terms, vocabulary words, especially acronyms, you definitely want to make sure that you're taking just a brief moment to thoroughly explain them, introduce them, give us some kind of context. Readers will need the context and appreciate it. You know, for fiction, oftentimes I will suggest for writers to avoid putting in a whole lot of jargon very early on. I have read a ton of stories from newer writers where in the very first chapter, let alone the first page, I am just hit with 20, 30 new terms, vocabulary words, just a bunch of jargon that's specific to the world that they've built, which is cool. High fantasy is a thing, and that's, in my opinion, that's one of the points of writing fantasy, if you're going to go in that route, is building a world, constructing a system and a whole society and how things work, and you should enjoy that and dive into it, without letting it get in the way of letting the reader appreciate just the characters and the story, right? But with that said, just completely inundated with all these terms, and I'll often just point that out and recommend, hey, when a person's picking up a book for the first time, whether it be fiction or nonfiction, all these new terms, who's got the time to remember it? Unless you're just a genius, right? Unless you're just a genius, you got a photographic memory and you're going to remember everything you read. For the rest of us, that's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen for me. Especially, I feel like I have a decent memory for this stuff, but I'm not going to remember. And part of that is because of fatigue, right? Or if a reader is reading a lot of books, which, you know, if you're an avid reader, you're going to be reading a lot of books. There's going to be a lot of stuff in your head already taking up space. You pick up a new book, it's going to be an overload. If you get hit with like 20, 30 new terms, it's just like, dial it back. That's the answer. Dial it back. Slowly introduce that stuff and introduce them in a way that helps the reader really appreciate them and understand them. So that way they have more meaning. You don't want to just throw random, these weird, crazy 16-syllable names out and then all these town names and all these creature names and world names and stuff so quickly, because no one's going to remember it. So if they're not going to remember it, why even do it? Best way to start any story is just get right to it. Doesn't have to be physical action, but just get right into it. Start telling us what's what. Let ground us first. What's happening, you know? And why should we care? Why are we interested? What's the hook? So yeah, definitely agree with MJ Brewer here. Now, when I was reading this short story, I gave a pass on a lot of this stuff because maybe it's because I don't work in the health industry, but I'm adjacent to it in a way. I've heard of some of this stuff before. I don't really know what it is. I don't know what an MPI thing is. I don't know what an ERA is in this context. I'm not familiar with medical billing and things like that, or EHR. I'm not sure what that means in this context either. But I also just went ahead and assumed, well, this is all related to medical billing, so I'm just going to let it pass. I knew that the story didn't want to get hung up on these things specifically. I kind of considered these as just kind of little Easter eggs for anyone who has worked in the medical billing or is currently working in the medical billing industry. These were things that they would get a kick out of. Otherwise, if you don't, like, these are things you can easily just ignore, because whether you understand them or not, they're not relevant. They're not relevant to the story. They're really just, like I said, they're here just for a little seasoning for certain readers with the right palate. So, but for the rest of us, it doesn't matter. We don't need to know, in my opinion. But I do agree with the overall point that can become an issue in writing, that can cause people to stop and look up the terms. So it may not be harmful. Not to pick on MJ Brewer, because we all have different opinions. I didn't get this feeling personally. I didn't dislike Mark. And I'm trying to understand this feeling too, because this is not the first person to say that they were frustrated at Mark for being too perfect. I mean, it's true, you don't want everyone to be perfect in stories. They shouldn't be perfect. That's not why we engage in stories. We engage in stories because the people in them are flawed and they have growth that they need to do, that they need to undertake. And to do that, they have to go on a journey, whether it's a fantasy journey, sci-fi, or just a mystery, or doesn't matter, or just a personal family drama. It's always about flawed characters that we can relate to and we can appreciate at some level. We don't have to like these characters. Some of them we hate, but we appreciate on some level. And there's something about these people, these characters, that we attach ourselves to. There's just something about them that we can appreciate or we enjoy reading. And in that sense, yeah, sure, maybe that's where this feeling is coming from for some people, like MJ and others. I think, was it Amanda as well? Yeah, Amanda said that too. It's just, that's wild. I get that, but at the same time, I'm like, well, for this short story, I don't know that it's really necessary for Mark to be flawed or not perfect, because, and this is just food for thought. This is kind of like workshop mode now. I'm getting into developmental editor mode now. This has become a developmental edit live stream. Now we've spent almost an hour reading this story and critiquing and talking shop about writing. So forgive me about that. But, you know, food for thought on that. Let's say that we did change the story to make Mark less than perfect. I feel that there could be a risk, and who knows, we'd have to try it before we could say for certain. Nothing is certain. But one thing that could become an issue in turn is that, well, now we're distracted by the fact that Mark isn't supportive. And now the attention turns on Mark, when that's not really what this story is about, right? This is a short story. It's a horror short story. This isn't about Mark. This is about Rachel. Mark's only purpose in this story is to provide exposition to us, the readers, about what's going on, and to pull back the veil, pull back the curtain, and reveal, these were hallucinations all along. This wasn't a drone. This wasn't an evil creature or anything like that, like messing with Rachel. It was just all in her head. He's there for info dump purposes, people. He has no other purpose. And so in that sense, it doesn't bother me if he's perfect, because I understand right away why he's here. And if you start introducing flaws and things like that for him, and I'm not saying it would completely ruin the story. It might not. It could improve it. It all depends on how it's executed, for one. But I would definitely be concerned or worry that suddenly the reader attention will get shifted over to Mark a little bit, and then our focus as readers would be, oh, well, Mark's not very supportive, is he? And like, what's the relationship between Rachel and Mark and stuff like that? Instead of what we really want to focus on with this short story, what's really the real focus of the short story is Rachel's mental stability and her psyche and her current health. All basically saying the same thing 3 times. Terrible. But that's the focus. We need to stay in Rachel's perspective. We need to have our thoughts on Rachel, because we're going through this with her. And as Mark explains it, now we're realizing with Rachel at the same time. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this was a hallucination. Until the final twist, where it seems like it wasn't a hallucination and there is something there. And it might kill them. Who knows? I still contend that it's still all a hallucination. So let's just read a couple more comments here. See if anyone else agrees or disagrees, has any additional thoughts, comments to add to this. Aurora Gleans writes, the tension you built in the story was very well done, and the ending had a great twist. Congratulations on the win. Definitely agree. Let's see. Taryn Eads. Hey, great story. It's clear why they chose you as the winner. I'm an inspiring editor, and I wanted to give you some feedback to hopefully help you further improve and develop your stories. In the 3rd sentence, Rachel had woken up lazy and languid in the wake of her twice-snoozed alarm and reached for her husband's side of the bed. It is somewhat difficult to read because how you strung it all together. It might flow better if you break it up. For example, Rachel had woken up lazy and languid in the wake of her twice-snoozed alarm period. She reached for her husband's side of the bed, and much to her disgruntlement, the spot. The other sentence I wanted to... Okay, I'm not going to read the entire comment here. Taryn's providing some some welcome critiques around grammar and story structure and things like that. Maybe not story structure, this is more grammar structure. And yeah, I could definitely see that. It definitely can't hurt. I could agree with that. Much to her disgruntlement, let's see, had woken up, lazy and languid, in the wake of her twice-snoozed alarm, and reached for her husband's side of it. I think it really just depends on the cadence, on how you approach that sentence, but I can definitely understand that as you start to read it, Rachel had woken up, lazy and languid, in the wake of her twice-snoozed alarm. It can definitely throw you off guard, you know, especially for somebody reading this stuff out loud and trying to read ahead and be prepared for what's coming. It can be tricky. So yeah, certainly I think it's a great suggestion. Is it fine the way it is though? In my opinion, yeah, I think it is. I think this is perfectly fine. Like I said, I think it just depends on if you're prepared for it, and I think it depends on the cadence, the speed at which you read it. If you read it, you know, with a certain beat, it flows just fine, I think. Rachel had woken up, lazy and languid, in the wake of her twice-snoozed alarm, and reached for her husband's side of the bed. Much to her disgruntlement, the spot where he should have been was empty and cold. So it can work, but it's a fair point. It's a fair point. Thank you for feedback on my feedback. Funny. Let's make this the final comment so we can get some more Hollow Knight before this becomes basically a short story stream. Not that I wouldn't mind that. But we want to get back to playing. Gotta do it for the video material that I can edit later. This was a really fun read, and the ending gave me chills. You did a great job using the classic horror technique of not showing the monster, which built up that unsettling fear of the unknown. I especially loved the part where she's working, and you intercut moments of the droning sound. It felt very natural and heightened the tension perfectly. I know you were working with a tight word limit, but since you play so much with the space of the apartment, I found it a bit tricky to visualize the layout during the scene when the droning sound moves around. Clarifying the positions would make the final moments even more impactful. Okay? I can definitely understand where Donovan's coming from when he says that. Now, not to be contrarian to every little commenter here, because that's not what I want to do. Everybody is allowed to have their personal thoughts and opinions. Perspective is reality, right? Everybody is walking around seeing their own truth. And it's not for us to deny people their truths. It's not up to me to deny you your truth. And it's not up to anyone to force their truths onto others, right? I think the only thing we're here to do for each other is just to communicate openly and honestly and share information in the hopes that communication, that openness will help us all be on the same page, on the same truth, right? The only way we can do it. With that said, with respect to Donovan's thoughts there, I'll give a counter thought for anyone who might watch this in the future who is a author or a new writer. You know, I don't like to say aspiring anymore. A lot of new writers might say, oh, I'm an aspiring writer, just like we saw with Taryn. They describe themselves as an aspiring editor. No such thing. As the little green frog once said, do or do not. There is no try. Or something to that effect, right? Yoda said you either do it or you don't. There's no aspiring to it. You either are editing right now, and it doesn't matter how you're editing. If it's in a professional sense, or if it's in just a hobby, a personal sense, amateur, it doesn't matter. You're either doing it or you're not. You don't have to be some, you don't have to have a degree, a certain level of skill, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to have a certain level of skill in order to suddenly drop the training wheels and say, yes, I am an editor. As if saying I am an editor or saying I am a writer is the same as communicating I'm an expert at this thing. No one's really an expert at anything. Well, I mean, I can't say that. I mean, people who get PhDs and master degrees, certainly they can call themselves experts. But for the rest of us creatives who are just musing about and creating things, whether it be through art or writing or music, whatever, no one is truly an expert in anything when it comes to being creative. We're all just sharing our creations on an equal playing field, and some people have created things that engage other people more than the things that we've created. That's just all it is. So, yeah, I dropped the aspiring part, but I digress. Coming back to this, yeah, as far as like, I know a lot of, just in case any new writers coming in here, and again, you're not aspiring. If you're writing, you're a writer. That's it. It's enough said. You're an author. And if you've published, you're an author. You're a published author. There you go. Self-published doesn't matter. You're a published author. With that said, for anyone who's new, you know, advice on writing can be very it can be like whiplash. People are saying to do one thing, people say to do the next. So for what Donovan's saying over here is like, hey, maybe you could put more detail into what the space is so I could visualize it better, so I can drop myself into this apartment and know where the kitchen is and know where the office is. Yeah, I could see where that might be helpful for a short story like this, just a counterpoint to it. I don't think that's really necessary. And in fact, I think one of the common challenges that new writers and even experienced writers will face is providing too much detail. Whether it be too much detail into the setting, too much detail into the action of the characters in a scene. There is such a thing as too much detail, and I think it's worth questioning when you're writing how much detail is appropriate and necessary for the point you are trying to get across in your story. I think that's how it needs to be tackled. For this short story, I don't think it's necessary. For me, like when I was reading it anyway, it wasn't necessary for me to know exactly the layout of the apartment, because I've lived in apartments before. They can all have like slightly varying layouts, but most apartments are going to feel basically the same. You can't do a whole lot with an apartment. You just can't. You're going to have a couple bedrooms, you're going to have a living area, you're going to have a kitchen that's like right next to the living area. Sometimes it's all just one area wrapped into one, depends on the type of apartment. But I don't think it's really necessary for this short story, because again, the focus of the short story is Rachel. And to Donovan's point, he's saying that for him, if he knew the layout better, he might feel the tension more for him. So I mean, that's going to be true. Not every reader's the same, and that's the thing we also have to accept as writers, that you can't appease, you can't please every single reader. You're not going to. You just have to write your story and just leave it there. Write your story, write it the way, write your vision, tell your message, and leave it there. And as far as like going back and editing and revising, you want to edit and revise in service, based on what's going to service your story the best. So take on board feedback that you feel will help enhance your story the best. Leave everything else behind. Not everything needs to get on board. That can still be tricky, but it's a good starting point. So with that, I didn't feel like the space of the apartment was necessary for me personally when I was reading it, because I know what a kitchen looks like. I know what a living area looks like, and I know what an office looks like, and I know I certainly lived in an apartment where I used the extra bedroom as an office. You know? I say that a lot sometimes when I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here, or I'm just trying to pause for a moment to let you have a moment to think through what's being talked about here. See if you agree or disagree. You don't have to agree with me. Just know if you do disagree, you should at least know what you're disagreeing on, you know? I did it again. I need to stop myself from doing that so much. I do say that quite a bit. Uh-oh. So yeah, I know those things, and so I can kind of vaguely come up with an idea of like where it might be. I can envision a hallway. I can envision a living area, some door, you know? I've been in an apartment. I don't need any details. And again, I counterpoint this under this idea for writers of, well, if we did add more detail, does it service the story? Right? If Mortimer stopped and explained this is the layout, like, oh, it's down the hall, this is over here, this is over there, does it service the story? Does it service Rachel? Does it enhance the tension for Rachel as she's going through this buzzing? And for me, I don't think it does. For me, it doesn't. I not even think. I know it doesn't, because those details are not what actually scare me, you know, or what give me chills, or what hooks me into the story. What hooks me is the build-up, the tension, the mood, the feeling. What is Rachel going through? How does she feel about it? This creeping sensation that something is watching, and every time she turns around, it's gone. It's not there, but she knows it's there, and it's following her, and it won't leave her alone. And at the end, especially, she thinks it's gone. It was a hallucination, but ooh, it might not have been. So stuff like that. So yeah, just again, food for thought. Donovan's not wrong. He's living his truth as a reader. But as a writer, as writers, we should be thoughtful to feedback like that, and just make sure we weigh it against what's best for our story before we just go ahead and implement every little thing somebody says. Okay, yes, I have spent over an hour on this one story, but this is fantastic. Loved reading it. I think we're going to read some more short stories from Contest 272 in future streams. For now, let's just play a little bit more of Hollow Knight, because I didn't intend to stream for too much longer, but I also don't want to just have played only like 40 minutes of musicless Hollow Knight, because I didn't realize there was no music. Well, this isn't what I want. Boy, I just realized too, I hope I didn't really look to see if the short story was showing up okay on here. I guess it did. I could have made it bigger. We could have made it a little bigger for ourselves, huh? Oh well. That's fine. Sorry. I don't pay... The screen's over here. I don't pay much attention to what's going on over here. I'm just kind of focused on my monitor over here and the game, and then everything else I've got going on. Oh, this calls the elevator. Okay. I was wondering what the heck that lever did. Well, down I go, I guess. I wanted to get back to town, but I guess that's not in the cards for me. I'm never going to get back to town and buy a lamp. What the heck is this? Just money? More Munmuns? Tim go to college? Let's go down. Oh. Oh. Oh, fuck. Ow. Keep missing. Eat hot fire! He jumps back. Well, now I'm super sad that I didn't have the music on earlier, because this music is beautiful. It's got hints of Final Fantasy VII in there. Yeah, here I go. Just Mega Man 2-ing this thing. Bruh. Bruh. Ugh. Yeah, this music is gorgeous. This whole area is such a vibe. I love it. I love this whole thing right here. Like, now I feel like I need to put on the soundtrack when I go to bed, you know? I said it again, you know? I'm gonna put like a quarter in a jar. Every time I say it, I'm gonna be rich. I'll be able to invest in my portfolio, in my quarter jar portfolio. Well, I feel like, wow. I don't have a map, right? So... Huh. There's something down there? Well, let me just poke my head in here real quick and... Oh, it's a big guy. Well, something is down that way. I don't know what. I don't quite know what. Oh, fuck. Hey, he glitched. There we go. I hear squeaky. What the hell was that? Oh no. Is it like the little squeaky bat things? Well, I've got to go up. Oh, give me the juice. No! Okay. Just ridiculous, man. Get over here. The hell? Gotta open doors to open more doors, and... Summon elevators. Do things. Like, I don't know what. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going. Okay. Does that say bench? It sure does. Rawr. You're free, little grubby. You are free. The map maker. Map maker, make me a map. Oops. Okay. Wasn't sure if there was going to be more of them. So I was like, well, shoot, I better heal up fast. Come on, buddy, where are you? Give me my map already. Can I take a train? A toll machine. You're gonna charge me to use a freaking bench? Is that what's happening right now? God. Jeez. Here, give me a map real quick. Isn't this a change from those twisting natural caverns? The rain does cast something of a sadness upon it all, but the architecture is simply splendid. Charting such a different space is quite the challenge, though one I've eagerly undertaken. Perhaps you'd care to purchase a copy of my achievement so far? Yes. I've got money to burn! Where the hell are we? I have no idea! I took away my compass! No! I'm pretty sure we're at that bench in the middle, top middle over here. Okay. And then looks like I can take a tunnel to my left to go back to the beginning of this area. And there's another bench in the top right-hand corner with a spidery thing, so that's where I should head next. Realistically. Part of me just wants to continue exploring, but the other part is like, well, if I do that, I'm never getting back to town. Let's get back to town, man. Let's get back to town. Let's just do it finally. I'm just checking my volume over here. Oh, hey, this is kind of like the first area. Oh, he killed himself on these things. Oh, cool. Yeah, fuck you. Can we do it again? I think we can. Oh, cheap! Cheap! That was cheap! That was also cheap! Fuck you! Fuck you, bug! This is bullshit. Why am I doing this? Now wait just a gosh darn minute. Oh. I kind of lost my place there. So yeah, I'm already up here. Okay. I'm already up here, bro. Up here, brosif. And there is Trickety Treasures. Right here, right by the corpse of the dead over here. Yeah, just burn and white fire. White hot fire. Just give me one little Alienware. Okay. I've done a thing. I have broken the chains that bind. Well, what is my map, sir? Show me. Very good, very good. What is that thing at the bottom right? Is that boss? Is that boss? And I gotta pay to use the fucking spider horse. What does he need the money for? Maybe I need to start playing Natural Selection again. I don't remember if I ever played Natural Selection 2. I played the first one so long ago. You've opened several stag stations now, haven't you? I'm thankful for the opportunity to once more travel through the kingdom. As I visit more places, I feel my memories returning to me, like the stagways of my mind are running once more. Continue to open the stations, and you'll have my deepest gratitude. Listen, I ain't promising vocal performances. I just promise voices. Dirtmouth, right? That's the town? God, we've been to so many different places. I don't know how big this game is. There we go! That's the one thing I don't know anything about this game. I didn't know anything about this game when I picked it up. I only discovered it through the music on YouTube. Started playing randomly. Sir? Faring well in your adventures below? Well, I had an adventure of my own while you were gone. I don't usually visit the town's graveyard, but I thought I'd go and visit the grave of an old friend. As I was walking amongst the tombstones, I noticed a strange kind of chanting coming from somewhere nearby. Extremely sinister chanting. I looked around to find the source, and I saw two bright, horrible, huge eyes staring at me from the door of the dark cave. I pretended I hadn't heard the voice or seen the eyes and scurried back to town. My friend will have to wait a little longer for her visit. Aw, buddy. Buddy! I'm so sorry. So sorry. Hey. Yes, we need this. It's... God, why are you charging $1,800 for it? But we need it. There are some dark, spooky places. This wouldn't be bad to purchase as well, but that's $500. Let's go make sure there's nothing else we need to spend our cash on. You gotta be thoughtful about these things. Wait a minute, why am I going in there? I just came from in there. Gotta go to the spectacles.
Bapanada.
Bapanada. Tram pin. Okay. Gleaming marker. These markers are new additions to the shop. You can use them to mark interesting spots. Oh, okay, these are just markers. Okay, yep. You know what? Give me a tram pin. I've got a tram ticket. Let me know where the trammy tram is. This is the graveyard. Oh boy. Hello again. How have you been faring? Have you come to me because of your regrets? Let me peer into you. You don't appear to have any lingering regrets. How lucky for you. You don't need the services of one such as I. I don't know what the fuck this is. It kind of sounds like, and I probably said this before, but it kind of sounds like the thing in Elden Ring, where if you accidentally kill something or make it, do something you didn't mean to or regret, you can just go and what is it? I forgot what item you use. You use an item at some church and you kind of restore the dead back to life and reset things. People aren't angry at you anymore. I've never honestly had to do it in my game, although that's because I'm a coward and didn't take any risks. I just played the game and beat it, gosh darn it. Let's go back here. Let's go ahead and spend the coin while we've got it. Oh, Jill! What the fuck, Jill? Whoop! Okay, half an Alienware, we're getting there.
Patmos, Jill.
No one else in town, eh? Cool. So maybe that's what this thing is in the graveyard over here. Maybe it's for resetting something, but what? As far as I know, you can't harm the NPCs, right? Can't kill this guy. So I don't know what that's for. I don't have like skills or something, right? There's no skills in this game. I'm still with a busted old nail. I don't know where to go get a new one. Somebody told me somewhere how to go get a new one. Got a rancid egg. I don't know why. I think, regrettably, I'll stop here. So I don't want it to get too late. I do still have to work technically tomorrow. But I'll stop here. We didn't get to play a whole lot. That's my fault. I got sucked into that short story. But it was a great read. I'm glad we got to it and definitely deserved the win of that contest. And I'm interested to read more from that contest because the other one we read that wasn't a winner, Out for the Count, was just fantastic. It was wonderful. So there's a lot of great writers and authors on Reedsy. So would definitely like to check some of their stuff out. So we'll stop this here. Hopefully the stream came out okay. I'm not sure when I'll stream again. It's just whenever I have a moment. So maybe tomorrow night we'll do it. I do have some Kung Fu classes that keep us pretty late. So we'll see. But until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And we will stream again soon. As soon as I